to settle into your space. And gradually become aware of your breath. If you find it helpful and you're lying down, you can place a hand on your midriff and experience your breath flowing there. Checking in that you're able to breathe comfortably and deeply. Become aware of the balance between your in and your out breath. Do you notice anything about the way in which you're breathing? If you feel any tightness around the midriff area, you may find it helpful to bend the legs and place the feet on the floor into constructive rest. And that will slightly release the tension on the diaphragm from the straight legs and may improve your ability to breathe with your diaphragm. Encourage yourself to breathe out even more. And then expand with your breath, invite it into all areas. If you're in a child's pose and you're still comfortable, feel that expansion in the sides and back of your body. And then when you're ready, if you're able to, come up to kneel. And you can either kneel with your knees padded on a blanket if the floor is hard underneath your mat. You can kneel up high if up high is better for you, for your knees to begin with. If you're okay and happy with it, you can drop down to your heels and kneel down. So deciding which way is better for you. And we'll begin with a gentle practice of lifting the body, opening the body and folding down back into child's pose. Now, if child's pose isn't particularly useful for your knees, what I would suggest is that you rise up as you breathe in and breathe out. You round and come down using the abdominals to pull you towards your thighs, perhaps into a rounded cat. And then lift yourself back up again. Otherwise, it's breathing in, opening the body, drawing the belly to the thighs as you lower down. Breathing in, lifting strongly back up. So we're going to do that 5 times. So when you're ready, you're starting down, you can have your hands alongside you. Breathing in, lift and open. As if we're saluting the sun. As we breathe out, draw the belly tightly to the thighs before your buttocks reach your heel. Breathing in, lifting up and opening the body, opening the heart gently. Breathing out, releasing, folding forwards. Contract the abdominals. Breathing in, lifting, opening, stretching. And closing, contracting, pulling yourself in. Find your breath. When you've completed your 5, you can rest in your child's pose if that's comfortable, making fists with your hands underneath your forehead if you need to, or popping something between your bottom and your heels if your buttocks don't go down that low. And then from there, we're coming up to stand. Hands in front of your knees, tucking your toes under. Make sure your feet and knees are a little apart. Roll up onto your toes and roll your body to stand. Checking in once you're there. And you may want to face the long end of the short end, of your mat. Having your feet balanced and having a sense of that grounding down through the earth. Feel your breath flowing. Standing comfortably tall, softening perhaps behind the backs of your knees. Find your breath once again. And inviting yourself into a forward bend. You can use the arms, breathing in. If you wish to, let the arms float up towards the sky. And as you breathe out, send the buttocks up, bend the knees a little, fold yourself down, let the arms drop. Lift the arms out to the side, lift the breastbone away, lift your body all the way up, then arms can come back alongside the ears. Breathing out, arms wide, contracting through the abdominals, releasing the body down onto the thighs. And breathing in, extend the arms, extend the ribs, and lift yourself back up. 2 more times, working with that. Breathing out as you come forward. Keep extension through those wrists. And when you've completed, coming back to stand. After the last one, you can let the arms float back beside your body. Observing your body and your breath. Checking that you have room on your mat to step back. We're going to have our feet hip width apart. And we want to have a sense that those pelvic bones are facing the front. So your headlights are shining to the front edge of your mat and staying balanced. As we take ourselves into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. And we're going to think of this as a back bend. So think of it like that and avoid overstepping, avoid going too far back. As you step your first leg back, that becomes your anchor. So where your feet are now, you've got your, hopefully, alignment between your heel and your toes. You want to maintain that to the best of our ability as we slide our foot back. So you put your weight into your left foot and you slide the toes of the right foot in a straight line back, and then take your weight towards the back foot so the heel is firmly down. But there's still that hip width between your legs. And your pelvic bones are both still facing forwards. So if you have taken your foot a long way back, you may have found your pelvis is rotating around towards the back leg. Bring the leg forward again. Excellent. All right. So with this, it's a back bend. Take it where your body will go to. You may like to interlace your hands and place those behind the back of your head, the base of your skull. Elbows come forward, and then they're connected to our ribs. So if we lift our elbows, you'll feel your chest begin to lift. Come back down to center, looking straight forward. Press your head back into your hands. As you breathe in, bend your left knee over your ankle and then begin to lift your elbows and chest gently up towards the ceiling. So your head is still in your hands. Breathing, work that back leg, and maybe press the pelvis forward a little if you wish to get a stretch through your front right thigh. That's the back leg. If you're feeling safe, press your head a little more, extension through the back of the neck. And you can extend the arms, if you wish to, up alongside the ears. Otherwise, you can keep hold of your head. Deep breaths, breathe out, lift the chest a little more if it will. A little more back bend if it feels safe for you. Am I breathing? And then take a deep breath in here. As you breathe out, step back to the front and lower your arms. Pausing there, experiencing your body and noticing the difference on each side. Feet hip width apart, pelvis facing the front, stepping the left leg back, make sure that left heel is out towards the left slightly rather than turned in towards the midline. You might have a slight turn in, but it doesn't want an extreme turn in. Can I rebalance through both feet with my pelvis facing forwards? Reposition the hands behind the head, elbows facing the front. Press the back of the head into the hands. Keep your face forward, not lifted. Not to begin with. Breathe in where you are. As you breathe out, bend that front leg and lift the elbows, ribs up away. So keep pressing the head back into the hands. So you're still gently looking forward with your face. You haven't lifted and thrown your head back. And you may want to press your pelvis forward a little more, get that stretch through the front thigh of your left leg. And then if you have strength, if you wish to, extend the arms up alongside the ears and begin to breathe a little more deeply. Really plant that back leg, that's your anchor. Breathe into your bottom ribs, feel the breath moving, feel the back bend. And take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, stepping forward and releasing back to the front. Well done. So now your body's been in a little back bend, and you may already feel that. So probably wants to go forward. If you'd like to do that, you can roll yourself down or fold yourself down and allow yourself to dangle for a moment, easing it out. Soften your knees as you require in order to be in a released and comfortable position. Making your way gently back up to the center. And turning to face the long edge of your mat this time. We're going to step our feet apart and do variation of the triangle, Trikonasana. So our emphasis here is on the side of the body. So your left side is going to be the first focus, and you're going to contract through the right side. We're going to turn the right foot around, if we're able to, at the 90 degrees. The heel can either be in line with the other heel at the back or in the middle of the foot, depending on your balance. So feel strong and balanced. Really stable through your legs, stable through your center. This version involves bending the front leg. Normally we wouldn't bend the front leg to get into our Trikonasana. We'd probably keep it straight. But for this version, we're bending it. And we're going to have the arms working in a slightly different way to begin with. So your left arm, where the leg is going to stay straight, we're going to take that arm out slightly to the side. Feel an extension through your wrist so that the hand's not doing weird flippy things. So keeping that extension and energy running all the way from the breastbone through to the middle finger. And that arm is somewhere between 35, 45 degrees away from the body. It isn't shoulder height. And it's going to stay fixed in that plane, and it's going to go with you. So as you tip, it simply stays where it is as a counterbalance. The front knee is going to bend. So when this leg bends, the right knee bends, make sure it's traveling in a safe direction over your feet. It's not rolling your whole foot in and damaging your knee. If your knee is an issue, you may find it beneficial to turn those toes out a little bit, but be safe. Make sure you have your balance. So we're going to move 4 times with the first variation, which is starting from the top, breathing in, and as you breathe out, just watch for a moment. As you breathe out, you're tipping and bending that leg, and let that arm come on the inside. So you notice this one's just going with me, it's not actually moving itself. And you're looking down towards the floor. As you breathe in, you'll straighten that leg and you can look up to the one above, and we'll do that 4 times. Once we've done that 4 times, we're going to stay down here in this position, looking at our foot in order to extend and stretch through the lateral left side. So we'll breathe in and take that arm over our head as we turn the head either forwards or look up underneath your armpit. As you breathe out, you turn your head and lower the arm. So you're going to be doing that 4 times to stretch through that side of the body. And then we'll stay in that hold, and maybe, subject to the length of arms, we'll tip over and straighten this front leg. Okay? So letting your back arm, your left arm, be out. Breathing in, lift the right arm up. You can look towards it if it's safe for your neck. And as you breathe out, bend that right leg and tip down, looking at your right foot. Breathing in, extend up. Breathing out, tipping over to the right. Keep that left shoulder fixed. So the arm and shoulder go with you. The arm isn't moving independently on the left side. One more time. And then the arm stays down. As you breathe in, you lift the back arm up over the top and turn your head, perhaps to look underneath your shoulder or forwards. Breathe out, turn your head to look down. Breathing in, lifting, turning your head, pressing to the outside edge of that left foot. Breathe out, arm comes down. Take your time, use your breath. One more. And then if you're able to, you can interlace your hands under your right thigh, or you rest your right hand on your inner thigh, left hand on your sacrum. Keep the body there and straighten your right leg. So if you're able to hold that, you can. If not, just have your hands in a position that works for you. And 4 breaths here. Feel the stretch through the left side. If you find you've rolled head forward, roll the chest slightly back so the ceiling has the line, the side line of your body. When you finished your 4 breaths, breathe in and come back to center, turn that foot round and check in. Notice the difference between the 2 sides. You probably feel quite unbalanced. When you're ready, rotating your left foot around, checking its position by softly bending that knee. Am I tracking in the right way? Possibly the back right heel goes out a little more. Don't worry about where your pelvis is particularly, as long as it feels safe and your lower back feels safe. Then we're ready for the other side. So we take the right arm out at our 45 whatever degrees, so keeping that shoulder opening across the top of the chest. And breathing in, lifting that arm and looking up. As you breathe out, tip sideways, bend the left knee and look down towards the foot. Breathe in, stretch up. Breathe out, hinge, bend and look down. Breathe in, look up or forwards. Breathe out when you're ready. Find the stretch. You may feel this stretch on the inner thigh of your front leg. That's fine, but also on the back. And then pausing there after your 4th one, bring your awareness to your back arm. Breathing in, lifting it up over the top, looking underneath your armpit or forwards. Breathing out, taking it back all the way down if you can. Breathing in, turn the head. Stretch outside edge of that foot, fingers away. Breathe out. 2 more. And then you can interlace the hands underneath if your arms are long enough, or place your hands and straighten that leg and turn the chest and look forward. 4 breaths. Find that side seam on your right side facing the sky. Lifting the body out, rotating forward and coming back with the legs to center. Spend a moment in Tadasana, observing the body, experiencing the breath. You may notice the sensations on each side. Hopefully they're feeling relatively balanced in their sensation. And then softly coming down, if it's safe for you, coming down onto your knees, onto all fours. If that's uncomfortable for your knees, you could come onto your back into constructive rest, lying on your back with your knees bent, feet on the floor. And we're going to work a little bit, loosening up the spine once more. So all fours position. We've done quite a bit already working with the spine. Check your wrists are underneath your armpits, the best of your ability, and knees are underneath your pelvis. So there's a sort of a tabletop effect across your pelvic bones at the back. They're not tipping the wine glasses off or tipping the wine glasses into the middle of the table. Of course, we don't drink wine, but hey. Right, are we ready? Feel the ground underneath your hands, feel the ground underneath your shins, your feet, remembering that if you need support for your ankles, you'll roll up a blanket under there. We'll begin with our cat-cow, rolling through the spine. Breathe in where you are. As you breathe out, feel the navel lifting up and the head coming down, the tail dropping, and you're rounding your back. Move the body forward a little and then let your chest float between your arms, shoulders away. Move the body back a little and round the back. So you may find your bottom is slightly behind your knees as you do this. And as you come forward, the weight may be slightly forward of your knees. Breathing in. Float back first, then round as you breathe out. Float forwards first a little, and then open the front of the body. This is a bit of nerve flossing. One more time, each direction. Move first, then change direction. And then come back to center, and you might want to give yourself a little wriggle. So if it's possible for you, dropping back down, bottom towards heels and elbows in alongside or fists. If that's uncomfortable for your knees, you can come into the breaking position. Your bottom can stay up towards the sky and your forehead can come down. If that gives you too much blood in your brain, then you can come any other way if you're on your back. If you're on your back, you're obviously doing bridge, lifting up and rolling down through your spine. Coming forward now to lie on your front. Use any padding you require underneath your hip bones. And resting your head down, hands one on top of the other, if that's comfortable and appropriate for you. We're letting the head rest down on the floor, and we become aware of our breath here. As usual, we're working with our breath. You can feel your abdominals, your back expanding around the center as you breathe in and contracting as you breathe out. Focus for a moment on that breathing. Perhaps becoming aware of how balanced your breath is. If your lower back is feeling any tightness, you may find it helpful to take your legs apart for a moment and possibly wriggle and wiggle your pelvis slightly. Rock your pelvis from side to side, loosen up. Take a deep breath in and sigh that breath away, bringing the legs back towards each other, hip width or feet together. And then you can choose to keep your head down on your hands, or you could turn your face towards the right. And then you're going to lift your right leg. So remembering that our legs begin muscularly from the bottom of our ribs back. So we want to feel that extension coming from the back of the ribs. So if you think of T12, your bottom thoracic vertebra, and you send your right foot away from you and lift from that mid-back. Lower it down as you breathe out. Same leg, breathing in, extend and lift. Breathe out, lower. Keep the ribs down on the floor. The best of your ability, avoid rolling, only going as far as you can go. 4 times altogether, so perhaps one more. And then transferring into the other side, you can turn your face to the left if you wish, or leave your face looking down. Then breathing in 4 times, working from the mid-back with the left leg. Engage the back body muscles. You've completed your 4 on the left side, rest. We're going to repeat that one more time, but this time we're going to alternate. So we're going to lift them 4 times each, but alternating them. So it'll be right, then left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Working with your breath. So when you're ready, head can be forward, so you can keep it in balance. And you're breathing in, lifting, extending from that mid-back. Breathing out, lowering down. Continue 4 times each side. Remember to extend before you lift. You may become aware of which side is easier. Can you keep that leg straight? Is there a tendency to want to bend it? The straight leg lifting. When you've completed, pause, rest there. You may want to, after you've resting, just take your legs apart again, if that was comfortable. We're transitioning now into either the child pose, if that's appropriate for you, or lying on, rolling onto your back to hug your knees in. Both are appropriate. We will end up in a moment on our back, so you may choose to go straight there, or press your forearms along your ribs, use your abdominals to lift your pelvis, walk yourself back to your heels and rest. We're going to come over onto our backs now. So you may want to rearrange yourself if your back's feeling all right, and begin lying on your back. If you require some support for your head to accommodate the position of your head and your shoulders, please use that. Very important that we don't have our throats overexposed. So any props that you find you require and would normally use, please use them now. We're beginning on the floor. You may choose to have your knees hugged in once more, or place your feet on the floor in constructive rest for a moment. Checking where you are that you have room over your head to stretch your arms, which I don't. So I'm changing around and moving the other end of my mat. Our first position is working with our legs and our arms, and we're going to be working alternately. If you find that bringing your knees onto your chest and leaving them there is tricky, that your lower back starts to become uncomfortable, then I would suggest you use a cushion or a folded blanket gently underneath your pelvis, in order that as you bring your knees on, that allows your knees to be a little closer without that sensation of wanting to put your feet back on the ground. So you might have a support under your head and underneath your pelvis. If you can quite happily keep your knees on your chest and your pelvis down on the floor, that's how you'll work. So arms begin alongside the body, head looking up to the sky, and the heels are dropped towards the buttocks. Doesn't matter where you are in space here, as long as you're able to keep those legs in and there's no sensation of tension on your back, because it's hard for you to pull your legs that far in. And then when you're ready, opposite arms and legs. So if you bring your awareness to your right heel and imagine it's attached to a piece of elastic on your sit bone, your sit bone's going down and your heel is going up, so the foot is going to be flexed, toes towards knee. And the left arm is going to go over your head wherever it goes. If you have problems in your shoulders, feel free to bend that arm instead. So as we breathe in, the right heel and the left arm will go up together over the top with the arm. And as you breathe out, the arm will start first, it has further to go, and the heel will come back towards the buttock. Then we change sides and the right arm goes up as the left heel goes up. Doesn't matter if your leg doesn't straighten. As you breathe out, start the arm first and then bring the knee to the chest and the heel to the buttock. Continue breathing in. Stretch, press the back of the waist down. Breathing out, pull that knee in, bring that arm back. If you could control the body and coordinate opposite hand and leg. Find some strength in the center to pull that leg in. Continue working. You may be on the left side or the right side, and you're going to do 3 more with the right and 3 more with the left. So if you're on the left, do another 3 on the right and the left. So you will have done 46. Check those backs, the necks along, chin down, back of the waist down. Keep that foot flexed as it goes up, and you can keep it flexed as it comes down, ready for the next one. When you've completed 6 on each side, place your feet to the ground or slide your legs away, whichever feels right for you. Take a moment to experience your body. Let the legs flop. Let the arms be aside, out slightly from your chest. Working with rotation now, working from the legs with rotation. You're going to need a little bit of space at the side of the body for your arms to go. So if you haven't got that, you may want to rearrange yourself. And turn the palms probably to the floor so you've got a bit more grip on the floor. Hands. Bring the legs back together. They're straight at the moment. And we're going to begin with lifting the right leg. We're going to bend the leg and bring it to a right angle. So the knee is above the hip and the ankle and knee are bent. You've got a right angle ideally with your body. And you're going to breathe in here. As you breathe out, you're going to carry that knee over towards the left side of the body and the head can turn to the right. Breathe in, pull that knee back to the center. Breathe out, send that knee over towards the side. You may not reach the floor, it's not important. Breathe in, bring that knee back to center, head to center. Breathe out, roll the body over, gently, gently go where you can go. Keep the right shoulder down as the head turns towards it. Breathing in, back to center. Find your oblique muscles to pull you back. One more time. Breathing out, over to the side. Inhaling, engaging abdominals, coming back to center. So your left leg is straight and your right leg is held up into the sky. This is quite good work for your hip flexors. This time we're going to take it over and you can use your left hand to hold the leg over. If you want to, you could use a bolster underneath that right leg. You may not get to the floor, you could let the foot flop, it doesn't matter. And then bringing your right arm alongside your back. So back beside the body, not close to the back. As you breathe in, lift, so head is up to the ceiling. Breathe in, lift your right arm up. If it can, go over your head and look to the right. As you breathe out, bring the arm back and let the head come to the center. Breathe in, lift the arm over, look to the right. Breathe out, head to center, arm back beside you. Breathing in, arm over the top, head turns. Breathe out, arm comes back. One more time. Softly releasing the body back to the center and letting that right leg go. Checking in, observing both sides. And turning your palms to the floor once more, about shoulder height. Feet towards each other, maybe hip width apart or together. Keeping your right leg straight. Bending your left leg so we have it right angle, as if it was you're sitting on a chair with one leg. So controlling this from the center, from the leg. So deep breath in. As you breathe out, bring that knee over towards the left side of the pelvis and turn the head to the left. Right side, sorry. Turn the head to the left. Breathe in, back to the center. Left knee to right side, breathe out. Keep control. Left shoulder remains on the floor. One more time, if you're doing 4. Back to center. And then taking the left leg over to the right, and you can put your foot to the floor or whatever you can reach. Check you've still got that left shoulder as close to the floor as possible. You may need to put your bolster underneath your left leg in order to keep it steady. And float the left arm back alongside the body. Face looking to the sky, breathing in, lifting that arm up over the top if you're able to, bend the elbow if you need to, looking to the left, breathing out back to the center. Inhale, lifting the arm up and over, dropping the left leg down, breathing out, return to the center. 2 more. When you've completed your 4, release your body back to the center. Slide that left leg away, rearrange your body into the middle, and let go. Let go. Depending on how you're feeling, you may wish to simply bend your knees into chest and roll yourself over to the side to come up to sit. Those who are feeling strong, hands would come alongside the body. Bend your knees into your chest, lift your legs up to the sky, and slowly lower those legs down, contracting, but bringing yourself up to sit in a hinge. You can choose which is right for you. We're going to now work with a little bit of forward bending. So if you require, have a little cushion beside you, or you can have your blanket folded, ready to prop up your sit bones. And if you need to, some people may also want another blanket rolled or something, or a cushion underneath their knee. So if you're using a blanket, fold it over, sit your sit bones up on top of it, that may help you to come forward a little more easily. Because hamstrings may be the inhibiting part, in which case what you can do is pop your knees on top of your blanket, if that helps. So you may want to make a little roll of a blanket and pop that under a knee, particularly if you have hyperextending legs. It might be more protecting for your leg. Whichever way works for you. And as we did before, if you find your knees are a little tender, then keep your legs straight as opposed to bending them. Feet together, if you're able to, in front of you. And sending the left leg out to left, right leg out to right, or bending the right leg and bringing it in towards the middle. So you can either have that leg extended as well, focusing on the left leg to begin with, and sit bones out behind you. Growing tall through the sides of the body, and then rotating your ribs, your chest, your heart over towards your left leg. Deep breath in, tuck the chin, and as you breathe out, let your body softly roll towards that leg. It makes no difference how far you go. Experience the stretches, perhaps on the outside edge of the right body, or through the back of the left leg. Endeavour to have the toes up towards the ceiling. We're staying here for another 6 breaths. If the body begins to let you, fold a little deeper, check that that right side of the body is safe and the buttocks are down. After your sixth breath, ease yourself gently back up. And you can release the right leg out to the side. And if you're bending the left leg, you can bring the left leg in. If you're leaving it straight, leave it where it is. Checking in with your sit bones, perhaps sending them out a little bit, making sure you have some support if you need to. And remembering that you are going where you go to. There's nowhere you have to be. Work appropriately with your body. So sitting tall, leaving the pelvis where it is, rotate the bottom ribs, the mid ribs, throat, tuck the chin, breathe in, and then folding yourself down over that side. Six breaths, remember. Do you have a similar type of stretch where you had it last time? Are you working in a balanced way? Because one side may be different from the other. When you finished your six breaths, gently, softly come back up. Rotate your body back to the center and release your legs into the ground. We're going to take ourselves forwards now. And again, it may be that there's a challenge in your legs and your pelvis to do this, using your supports, or you could place some supports underneath your knees. A rolled blanket, and for those who require it or have it available, a bolster underneath your knees. And if you tilt the pelvis towards the bolster, you may find you actually get a little closer to your thighs. Of course, if you haven't got that, you could use cushions off the settees or a couple of blankets if you have more than one blanket, which will give you a similar effect and have your knees a little higher. Draw the sit bones comfortably out behind you. Sit as tall as you can. And some may not need that support underneath their knees. So am I sitting as upright as possible? Sit bones, armpits, head, and possibly arms. Breathe in here, and as you breathe out, using those hip flexors and your abdominals, pull yourself towards your legs. Lift those arms up alongside your ears first, then the chest comes away. Keep those arms back. If you find that tricky, you may want to put your hands behind your head in order to keep them, because the elbows won't come forward. Lift the head, push the head back into the hands. And again, breathing out, folding forwards. Lift the top of the body first. One more time. If this one time as you come down, you can stay. Either resting the hands beside the legs, the feet, or on the lower legs or on the feet, but avoid pulling, okay? Keep the drop coming from the top down rather from the bottom pulling. Invite your breath into the back of your body as you breathe here. Feel the breath, if you're able to, expanding your ribs all the way down to the bottom of your chest, sides of your chest. Find the expansion as your front of the body is closed, open, and breathe to your back. Softly releasing your body back out. And you may wish to take your hands just gently backwards and lean back. Anybody who feels a little tightness in their hips could take the feet to the floor and let the legs do a little windscreen wipe. Bringing yourself up to sit now. If you want to, you could use a chair. If you have one handy, make sure it's an upright chair. You could sit on your bolster. You can sit cross-legged. You can kneel around your bolster, whatever feels appropriate for you. And as you come to sit, notice how your body feels. Notice how the work that you've done with your body in the asana has affected your body. If you feel balanced, if you feel in sync. There were a lot of asymmetrical moves there, working one side then the other, with the intention to bring us to balance in the middle. And then a few balanced practices as well. Our next practice is a balance working with the breath. Those of you who are familiar with it can use Ujjayi. And if you wish to, you can also use the wave breath, where you breathe out, draw the belly, abdominals back, hold them back for a while as you begin to breathe in, so you're filling from top to bottom, and you're emptying bottom to top. If that's less accessible to you, please feel free to breathe comfortably, ideally towards the diaphragm. So that's your, if you're unable to control the abdominals and the breath at the moment, that's all right. Just feel that you're breathing as deeply and comfortably as possible. So there's no forcing of the breath here at all. So we're going to take Bramara Mudra, which is the bee gesture of the bee, which is helpful for allergies, for supporting the immune system. And we roll the first finger right into the base of the thumb, but we have a little circle, little hole, so we can see through it. And that's, I don't know, is that where the bee can come in and out? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the first finger coming into the thumb, and then your thumb is free, it's sticking above your first finger. So that's a position where your ring middle finger, the side of it by the nail, can rest, and with your thumb against the side of your middle fingernail. Does that make sense? So you've got first finger tucked in, rounded, and thumb resting against the middle edge of the, and the same thing happens the other side. Finger in, touch, and then extend the last 2 digits. And then you can turn your hands down. Arms facing the sky. Bramara Mudra, settling in, perhaps closing your eyes or dropping your gaze. Make sure you're comfortable. If you need to change position, please sit on a chair. Use support behind you. Drop down through the pelvis. And invite your breath to flow. Bramara Mudra, it encourages the breath more towards the chest and upwards, helping to free our sinuses, improve immunity. If you're working with the wave breath, drawing the belly back, you may find it easier, perhaps than normal, to fill those upper lobes of your lungs and the chest. Maybe less easy to fill the bottom. That's normal with this gesture. So no forcing. And I wonder if it's possible to bring in a little count or a statement in your head to work with. So as you breathe in, you're either counting an even number, takes for your breath. That might be 2, 4, 6. And breathing out to the same count. 2, 4, 6, whatever it is. If you find counting is not for you, you could say to yourself, breathe in, breathe in. And as you breathe out, breathe out, breathe out, making them roughly the same length. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe out, breathe out. If you have a bigger capacity, you'd say it 3 times or even 4. For those of you who are more experienced, you may find that you can pause for a moment, holding your breath in, perhaps up to half your count, and after you've breathed out. But if you have high blood pressure, avoid holding in. And if you have a low blood pressure, avoid holding out for the moment, and stay with the in-out balance. Stay with the practice, stay with your counting, or you're stating the words. Another 6 breaths. When you've completed your count, you're still breathing, continue. Release the mudra, gesture. And experience the sensations in your body, your breath, in your mind. Drawing the palms of your hands together at your heart. Send yourself a message of unconditional love. Deep thanks and gratitude to yourself for taking this time to nourish and support your body, your mind, your emotions, and perhaps to release some anxieties and stresses and strains that are going on. Find a place of balance. And if you find through the week that your balance is still off, you can return to any of those practices that you feel would be appropriate. And if you tend to be affected by allergies, you may want to revisit that breathing practice using Bramara Mudra. If you wish to join with me saying, may I be, take a deep breath in. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be happy. Go well. Namaste.